Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Whenever and wherever you're listening to this podcast, you are very welcome. Welcome to Rugby News, the podcast about our town, our people. We'll kick off with a roundup of local news. That's news local to rugby, with the help of the excellent local newspapers, the Rugby Observer and the Rugby Advertiser. In this week's show, podcast number 12, released on Friday the 7th of February, we hear about the promises the Borough Council are making as the council tax rises, how the pressure for high-speed local government changes is now eased, and the hundreds more jobs coming to rugby. I also have for you a Rugby Advertiser general knowledge quiz, along with information on some great entertainment for you in Rugby Town Centre over the next couple of weeks. Now, next week, I'm hoping to have for you an interview with local councillor and leader of the Liberal Democrats on the Borough Council, Jerry Roodhouse, and find out more about this project to regenerate the town centre, and also understand a little more about what the local government reorganisation could actually mean for our town and our people. And so, without further ado, here's our news. The Borough Council are promising significant investment, including the long-awaited plan to regenerate Rugby Town Centre, as it proposes to raise its share of council tax bills by an average of around £6.50 a year for an average Band D property. The council says it's going to invest £3.7 million in services to ensure it is better aligned with the projected service demands of the next financial year. Other planned investments include property flood protection, health initiatives, adaptation to climate change and community facilities. The council leader, Michael Moran, said Labour and Liberal Democrat councillors had worked together to take a fresh look at how this budget ensures real investment into both frontline services as well as preparing a platform for delivering on plans to regenerate the town centre and other long-held projects. Liberal Democrat group leader, Councillor Jerry Roodhouse, said, "We are committed to this new progressive way of working and will be focusing on regeneration. The talking must stop and we need to get on and deliver." The budget measures will be considered at a meeting of the full council next Thursday, the 13th of February. Well, speaking of measures to do with the local council, I can inform you that the time pressure is lifted. We can take a more measured view of the idea of changing the way public affairs are managed across Warwickshire County. The county's application to be in the government's first wave of streamlining things has been rejected. It would have meant the delay of county council elections scheduled for May. They will now go ahead as planned. Deputy Prime Minister Angela Rayner has repeated the government's call for unitary councils to be in place in every area across the county by the end of the Parliament. What's that, 28, 29, something like that? She says the government will inject more cash into local services by getting rid of two-tier council systems. She said the councillors of all types, including district councillors, tell me the two-tier system isn't working. So alongside our wider reform, this government is committed to making simpler, more efficient and clearer structures so that residents can access good public services without eye-watering price tags. Legal invitations will now be sent out to Warwickshire and all remaining two-tier areas, instructing them to submit proposals for new authorities. Yeah, there are changes ahead, but maybe not quite at the pace that many feared. Watch this space. Hundreds of new jobs are coming to Rugby with the launch of a massive new development. Barjane, that's the specialist industrial logistics real estate company, has successfully gained planning approval to develop a high-quality facility of just over 106,000 square feet on a 5-acre site. That's big, I assume. The development will be known as Rugby 106, and it's located within the Central Park estate, a mile from the M6 M1 A14 intersection, which is known as the Golden Triangle at the heart of UK distribution. The site is designated as protected employment land within Rugby Borough's local plan, was acquired by Barjane in January 2024, who claimed the building will be ready for occupation later this year. As promised last week, a public consultation on health services was hosted by Rugby's MP John Slinger yesterday, Thursday the 6th of February. I had thought it was a direct result of the unrest in Rugby Town before Christmas about the University Hospital of Coventry and Warwickshire management decision to close the 25-bed ward in our St Cross Hospital. So I went along expecting some form of feedback and update. As it turned out, it was a broader, forward-looking consultation that's occurring actually all around the country at the request of Wes Streeting, the government's health minister. Rugby constituents were being asked to have their say in shaping the future of the NHS as they see the situation in their hometown. The 60 or so people who turned up were divided into 8 tables, and with the help of nominated facilitators from among the attendees, they were asked, over a 2-hour period, to discuss and debate the broader issues proposed in Mr Streeting's 10-year health plan, which is based on the principles of moving the emphasis from hospitals to the community, moving from analogue to digital, and moving to an emphasis on prevention rather than cure. Attendees worked hard to unscramble what these clipped phrases would actually mean in reality, and then to share their concerns and their hopes for each. I can't possibly paraphrase fairly and helpfully any of their work here. That's the task of Dr. Keith Edgar, who led the process through the afternoon. He's part of the Rugby Healthcare Improvement Forum, and he's got to pull it all together and pass it up the line to Whitehall so as to put some more flesh on Mr Streeting's 10-year plan from the perspective of what we in Rugby hope for and are worried about. It was not the forum to go into the lack of consultation and even justification for the decisions made recently by the management at UHCW about Hoskin Ward and other changes at our local hospital. I think I need to ask our MP John Slinger and our Borough Council leader Michael Moran whatever came of the meetings convened in the aftermath of the protest marches last November. When I get a reply, I'll let you know. OK, well, I have to bow to public pressure, and it's time now for a general knowledge quiz. And the questions and answers are supplied by the excellent Rugby advertiser. Thank you very much. And we're going to have 4 questions. Each question, you're going to be offered 3 alternative answers. You've got to select the right one. Answers come along a little bit later. So the first question. Who played the drums in the 1960s pop group The Monkees? Mike Nesmith, Mickey Dolenz, or Peter Tork? Which 3 colours appear in the flag of Cuba? Black, yellow and red, red, white and blue, or green, white and red? Which pieces can capture en passant in chess? Pawns, rooks, or bishops? And finally, who in 1974 theorised that black holes would emit radiation? Was it Stephen Hawking? Was it Albert Einstein? Or was it Isaac Newton? Answers a little bit later on. Well, did you see the fire last Thursday afternoon on the Newbold Road? It was a large blaze, I'm told, and the suspicion is that it was a deliberate act of arson. Police have launched an investigation. Firefighters were dispatched to an abandoned single-storey building on Newbold Road at around 1:40 p.m. When they arrived, they found a number of burning seats ablaze, which had heavily smoke-logged the building. Crews spent more than 2 hours tackling the fires using hose-reel jets and also ventilated the building. Nobody was believed to have been injured. Warwickshire Police have confirmed they have launched an arson investigation as they believe the blaze was started intentionally. So anyone with information has been urged to get in touch with them by calling 101. We are all being warned to beware the trader offering to install loft insulation. They could well be rogue traders. Our friends at Warwickshire County Council's Trading Standards Service have seen an increase in complaints from residents about both installers and removers of spray foam loft insulation. These traders have been aggressively selling insulation to some residents, irrespective of whether or not it's right for the property, and sometimes using scare stories to get people to agree to its removal, claiming that it's unfit for their lofts and even dangerous. These rogue installers disappear, only to pop up again a few years later, perhaps masquerading as a new company, cold-calling the customers, offering to remove the insulation they sold them in the first place. Misleading quotes, lies about the government covering the costs, and exaggerated claims about the savings on their energy bills. These are the antics these bad boys get up to. County Council spokesperson Andy Crump said, "As homeowners look to save money on their energy bills this winter, Warwickshire Trading Standards is keen to ensure they receive straightforward, independent and expert advice. As a start, we would strongly urge homeowners not to agree to buy spray foam services from unexpected doorstep traders or cold callers on the phone. Instead, obtain independent expert advice when deciding whether this product is suitable for your property or not. If you're considering having the product removed, obtain a report from an independent surveyor first, before spending thousands on work that may be entirely unnecessary. Beware, friends, you have been warned." We do have a very busy mayor, Simon Ward, and in his busy schedule he recently launched the Bright Adult Daycare Centre at Unit 6 in the Eastlands Business Centre, St Peter's Road. Our centre is not just a space, it's a symbol of our dedication to enriching lives, say the owners, as they provide a safe haven for individuals. It offers a wide range of activities aimed to improve mental well-being and build a stronger sense of belonging within the community. Now that has to be a good thing, right? So that's the Bright Adult Daycare Centre at Unit 6 in Eastlands Business Centre, St Peter's Road. And drop me a note if you have any experience at the place. You can email me on simon.rugby.news@gmail.com. And now we're going to surprise you with the answers to the quiz for the questions that were supplied very kindly by the Rugby advertiser. And here are the questions and the correct answer. Who played the drums in 1960s pop group The Monkees? It was Mickey Dolenz. Which three colours appear on the flag of Cuba? Well, that's red, white and blue. Which pieces can capture en passant in chess? Well, it's pawns, of course. And who in 1974 theorised that black holes would emit radiation? It has to be Stephen Hawking. Hope you got 4 out of 4. If you didn't, never mind. I hope you enjoyed it anyway. All right, on with the podcast. Here's another festival planned for our town centre later this year. And this one is to celebrate the Women's Rugby World Cup. The one-day festival is being organised by Rugby Borough Council at the home of rugby, and they're putting on a giant screen in the town centre where visitors can watch the game and enjoy a host of activities, food and drink. In addition, they're providing grants for rugby clubs to promote rugby for women and girls, and plan to deliver a rugby programme for primary schools in the borough, giving children the chance to learn basic rugby skills from qualified coaches. Also, the council plans to commission a new rugby-inspired wire sculpture to complement the 3 sculptures created for the Rugby World Cup 10 years ago, 2015, and to revamp one of the giant rugby ball sculptures in the town with a fresh design to celebrate the tournament. Now, we all like a laugh, and now we're being offered some quality comedy at 2 pubs, one in Kilsby, one in Harborough Magna. Peter Brush supports Rob Rouse from the Friday Night Project on Channel 4 at The George in Kilsby on Tuesday, 11th of February. Later in the month, Josh Pugh opens the show and Paul Tompkinson headlines at the Old Lion in Harborough Magna on Thursday, the 27th of February. Both shows will start at 7 p.m. and will be compared by Tony Vino, who might be Vino, sorry, and I'm reliably informed he's been making audiences laugh across the UK comedy scene for 20 years. Chef patron of The George and the Old Lion said, "There's already a buzz about these events. The first comedy night at The George in January was a full house with a great atmosphere, and the Mexican small plates were clean plates by the end of the night." Tickets are £15, and for more info, ring The George on the following telephone number: 01788 726 669. That's 01788 726 669. Here's an announcement from our friends at Repair Cafe Rugby. From the 1st of March, Repair Cafe Rugby will be opening its doors twice a month. On the 1st and 3rd Saturdays of each month, excluding December, they'll be available to fix your items. Not only are we opening more often, but we'll be opening for longer. We'll still open at 10, but we'll keep going until 1. Be it domestic electricals, toys, clothes, bikes or leather items, bring it along and we'll see if we can help. Excellent. And now it's time for me to share with you what's on in Rugby Town Centre in the next couple of weeks. As I've said before, I've been unable to find a single source which covers every venue and every type of artistic performance. So bear that in mind as I carry on my search for such a useful source. Because unless you know what's going on in Rugby Town Centre, how can the artists and venue managers expect you to turn up and enjoy what they have to offer? I'll find such a thing, I'm sure. Well, you've always got to look on the bright side.
Always look on the bright side of life. If life seems all rotten, there's something you've forgotten, and that's to laugh and smile and dance and sing. When you're feeling in the dumps, don't be silly chumps. Just press your lips and whistle, that's the thing.
Join us for a hilarious musical adventure this February. The Rugby Operatic and Musical Society proudly presents Monty Python's Spamalot. This uproarious comedy will have you rolling in the aisles as a talented cast and crew bring the legendary tale of King Arthur to life. Performances run from the 20th to the 22nd of February at Lawrence Sheriff School. Tickets are available online now. Find us on Facebook for more information.
Find them on Facebook for details and tickets. The Rugby Operatic and Musicals Society. I'll happily entertain short 30 to 40 second high quality promos for inclusion in this high quality podcast. So send me what you've got and we'll see. Send to simon.rugby.news@gmail.com. Don't let perfect be the enemy of the good. That's possibly one of the greatest phrases ever for a creative mind, and I'm just therefore going to give you a bit of a what's on for the next couple of weeks. It isn't perfect, it doesn't cover every venue, but it's the events and the opportunities to enjoy Rugby Town Centre that have caught my eye. So let's go to CV22. You remember we had a conversation with the rather excitable Ollie Taylor not long ago, and boy does his energy translate into the vitality of the offerings he has on a musical front at his venue CV22. And over the next couple of weeks, I see that on Saturday the 8th, he has invited Thomas Atlas to come and entertain us. Now, I've seen him and I agree with this. This man is a very versatile guitarist, wonderful vocalist and gifted songwriter. intertwining scintillating blues solos with intoxicating funk-laden tunes. That's at the CV22 on Saturday the 8th and starts at 9:30. And on Sunday, the next day, it's an open mic night. It's a new slot for 2025, and he's inviting you to come along to a Sunday open mic night with the friendliest, most well-equipped open mic in the Midlands for people of all ages and abilities. That's between 7 o'clock and 10:30 on Sunday the 9th. Now, Valentine's isn't far away. CV22 are not ones to miss the bus. And on Friday the 14th, Ollie has arranged a Valentine's special with Dave Largy. Love is in the air this Valentine's with tunes from the legend that is Barry White. Join us inside as Dave Largy, the UK's #1 tribute to the undisputed king of soul, takes you on a journey through the classic hits with his velvety voice. And that's at 9:30 on Friday the 14th of February. Okay, skipping on to the Ben Hall, which, as we know, has a specialism in inviting wondrous tribute bands. The History of Rock is on this very night, so by the time you listen to this, you might have missed it, but it's the 7th of February at 7:30, The History of Rock, and they play tunes from them all: Led Zeppelin, Deep Purple, Guns N' Roses, AC/DC, The Who, Queen, Black Sabbath, and Lynyrd Skynyrd, all of them for the price of one ticket for one extraordinary evening. That's the 7th. A week later, on the 13th of February at 7:30, they have what's called an adult panto. Now, I'm not familiar with this genre, but the poster looks rather exciting, with Kyran Thrax, Davina De Campo, Marina Summers, and Ahura, and it's called The Wizard of Oz. And we are advised to get ready to meet our friends of Dorothy as you've never seen them before, as they go off to see the wizard in a naughty tale full of camp and filthy fun. Well, who said that rugby isn't a game for all talents? And within days of that, on Sunday the 16th of February at Rugby Ben Hall, Elvis, The Experience. Supported by a full live band, Ben Thompson is Elvis, and he's one of the select few Elvis artists who have the ability to successfully recreate all the eras of the king of rock and roll. So a mountain of songs and a wondrous evening for those who adore Elvis at the Ben Hall, the 16th of February. Now, I bet there's a lot of people out there who don't realise that rugby theatre, as well as presenting sparkling live drama on stage, actually show films as well. They've got a great cinema setup, fabulous quality screen, great sound, and you know what? There are no adverts to ruin the occasion. When they say they're going to start projecting at 7:30, the film starts at 7:30. So in the next couple of weeks, they first of all have for your delectation on the 7th and 8th of February, Gladiator 2. After his home is conquered by the tyrannical emperors who now lead Rome, Lucius is forced to enter the Colosseum and must look to his past to find strength to return the glory of Rome to its people. Well, that's 2.5 hours of Roman drama, and that's on the 7th and 8th of February. I'll tell you showing times and how to get tickets in a minute, because I want to tell you about what happens the next week after that, which is a film called We Live in Time on the 14th and 15th of February, and how appropriate for Valentine's Day, because it's We Live in Time, where Almut, Florence Pugh, and Tobias, Andrew Garfield, are brought together in a surprise encounter that changes their lives. Through the snapshots of their life together, falling for each other, building a home, becoming a family, a difficult truth is revealed that rocks its foundation. As they embark on a path challenged by the limits of time, they learn to cherish each moment of the unconventional route their love story has taken in filmmaker John Crowley's decade-spanning, deeply moving romance. Now you're going to come along to that, aren't you? Okay, so getting tickets and show times. Well, on Friday there's always a single show which starts at 7:30. On Saturday there's a matinee which, dependent on the length of the film, is either at 4 o'clock or 3 o'clock. And on the Saturday they also have an evening show which is at 7:30 or 6:30. Check it out when you go online and have a look at their site, or you ring the box office with the following number: 01788 541234. That's 01788 541234. Rugby Theatre. God bless you for the fabulous stuff you have on offer for us. And moving on to the Macready Theatre, looking out over the next couple of weeks, on Friday the 14th, there's a Gin and Jive Valentine's special. So it's not just performances, but it's funky little events like that where you can drink a bit and dance a bit. There's all sorts of things in their calendar. And that's Friday the 14th, and you've got to book for that. And there are 12 tickets available, so you better hurry. And on the very next day, Saturday the 15th of February, Hidden Powers, where you can experience an evening of magic, mind reading and unbelievable trickery in the latest show from rising star Angus Baskerville. He's an award-winning magic circle magician based near Stratford-on-Avon, and in 2024 took his first show to the Edinburgh Fringe with great success, receiving 5-star reviews all over the shop and selling out every show. He's here with us in Rugby. It's called Hidden Powers. It's on the 15th of February, Saturday. Get your tickets now for £10 or £12. Fantastic. So that was a roundup of the local news stories about our rugby town, plus a surprise quiz. And I'm indebted to the excellent local newspapers, Rugby Observer and the Rugby Advertiser, for all their help. And hey, for even more detail and even more news stories as they happen, go to their websites or follow them on their Facebook pages. Okay, we've pretty much reached the end of this podcast, and thank you so much for staying with it. I publish it once a week, every Friday morning, so if you click follow next to Rugby News, or one word, on any of the podcast platforms, you should get a notification when a new one drops, so make sure you do follow. I hope you liked what you heard, found it useful, and you want more, and if you did, others will too, so share the news and spread the word by sharing the Facebook posts and telling your friends about Rugby News, or one word. Any ideas to make it better, of course, let me know. After all, it is your town, your people. Reach me on email simon.rugby.news@gmail.com. Okay, I've been Simon. Goodbye.